It started with a whisper, a quiet voice inside me that I had been ignoring for years. "Get up," it said. But like always, I rolled over, hit snooze, and buried that voice under layers of comfort, excuses, and scrolling. That voice had been there before. In moments of regret, after skipping the gym again, after binge watching until 2 a.m., after saying, "I'll start Monday." But this time, something felt different, because the truth had finally become unbearable. I didn't recognize myself anymore. My potential was rusting under the weight of my own softness. I wasn't lazy, I was undisciplined, and that was slowly destroying me. So I made a decision, not a New Year resolution, not a trendy 21-day challenge, just a promise to myself. For 10 days, you will stop being your own excuse. Day 1, the alarm went off at 4:12 a.m., and everything in me screamed to stop. My bed was warm, my mind was loud, but my legs moved, and that first step, out of bed, was the hardest. Because I wasn't just waking up early, I was waking up to my life. I didn't touch my phone, I drank water, I stared at my journal, and I wrote, "Today you are not allowed to negotiate with weakness." Then I went for a run, not because I love running, but because I had to teach myself that discomfort doesn't mean danger. Pain is not the enemy, escape is. My lungs burned, my legs ached, but for the first time in a long time, I felt alive. Day 2, still brutal, still tired, but a little more aware. I noticed how often I looked for distraction, how quickly my hand reached for sugar, for my phone, for noise, anything to avoid being with myself. So I took it all away. No phone before 9 a.m., no sugar, cold showers, 3 workouts a day, morning sweat, midday walk, nighttime stretch. It wasn't about the body, it was about the mind. Discipline is the decision to do what's right, even when it's not what's easy. Day 3, doubt arrived. I started to hear voices, not outside, but within. "Why are you doing this? You're tired. No one cares." And those voices had one goal, to pull me back into who I used to be. But I had a weapon they didn't expect: awareness. I sat in silence. I let the thoughts scream, but I didn't follow them. Because discipline isn't about perfection, it's about direction. Each meal was intentional, each break was planned, each task was completed, even when boring. By the end of day 3, I wasn't proud. I was calm. Because chaos outside, it means nothing if peace lives within. Day 4 and 5, momentum kicked in. My energy shifted. I was moving faster, thinking clearer. And for the first time, I saw the power of stacked wins. Wake up early, eat clean, move, create, reflect, sleep, over and over, like a rhythm of excellence. But here's what shocked me the most. I didn't want applause. I didn't need validation. I didn't even tell anyone, because this was a battle just between me and the man in the mirror. Discipline is not about what you show the world. It's about what you whisper to yourself when no one is watching. Day 6, temptation returned. Friends invited me out. Late night pizza, drinks, just one night. Old me would have said yes, not because I really wanted it, but because I didn't want to feel left out. But this time, I said no. And it wasn't painful, it was powerful. I realized every time you say no to what you don't want, you're saying yes to the life you actually do. Day 7, clarity. That's the only word for it. I had less brain fog, more focus. Even colors looked brighter. No joke. It was like my body and mind had finally stopped fighting me and started fighting for me. I started writing more. Ideas flowed. I didn't just have energy, I had conviction. And I noticed something else. People around me started changing too. Not because I told them what I was doing, but because discipline is contagious. They saw the light in my eyes, the firmness in my steps, and they asked, "What changed?" Day 8, I faced resistance, emotional resistance. Old wounds surfaced, things I had buried under noise and food and distraction. And that's when I saw the truth. Discipline doesn't just change your habits, it confronts your shadows. I cried that day, and I let it happen. Because strength isn't the absence of pain, It's the willingness to face it and keep moving. Day 9, I didn't need the alarm. My body woke up naturally. I didn't need to force meals or workouts. They became part of me, like brushing teeth, like breathing. What felt impossible 9 days ago was now normal. And I smiled, not because I was done, but because I finally saw what was possible. I wasn't building a better routine. I was becoming a better human. Day 10, I sat with my journal, and I wrote something simple. You kept your promise. Those 4 words hit different because the world breaks us in many ways. But the worst break is when we stop trusting ourselves. For years, I made promises and broke them. To eat better, to start projects, to show up fully. But this time, I didn't flinch. And that rebuilt something sacred. Self-respect. Here's the truth I learned. Discipline isn't sexy. It's not glamorous. It doesn't get likes. It doesn't go viral. But it builds things no shortcut ever will. Character, direction, freedom, and above all, peace, because when you stop chasing dopamine and start choosing discipline, your life stops spinning and starts rising. If you've made it this far, maybe your soul is whispering too. Maybe you're ready to stop waiting for the perfect moment, ready to stop negotiating with fear, ready to finally meet the version of you that's been waiting on the other side of the effort. So here's my challenge to you. Give yourself 10 days. No cheats, no lies, no spectators, just raw, honest, brutal commitment. And if you fail one day, start over. You're not behind, you're becoming. Before you go, do one more brave thing. Hit subscribe, turn on that bell, and join this tribe of people rewriting their stories through action. Because motivation fades. But when we move together with discipline, we become unstoppable.